It's like 3 in the morning and something just ran through my campsite. It shook the whole tent. Glad I took this trip. Oh, more fish jumping, and that was a big one. I'm super pumped about today. It's my first camping trip of the season. We're headed up to the Belle Province of Quebec to go to Taylor Lake in Gatineau Park. Let's go. Okay, so I've just arrived to the campsite. This is campsite T2 here at the beautiful Taylor Lake in the Gatineau Park. I'm very excited to be here. It took me about an hour, maybe a little bit more to get here. There was some traffic, but it wasn't too bad to make it from the city up to the beautiful Gatineau Parks in around an hour. Now, unfortunately, there is a fire ban, so I can't have a fire, which I was really looking forward to. I was going to cook all my meals on the open fire, and I gotta tell you, I love having a campfire at night. It's one of my favorite things about camping. But you know what? There's nothing you can do about it. We gotta protect this beautiful area and this beautiful forest, and it's an extreme high risk for a campfire. So we move on. No campfires, no problem. I brought my stove, so I'll cook all my meals on there. I got the boat. I want to do some hiking. It's going to be a good time. This is a beautiful spot, and the weather is perfect. All right, enough talking to you. I got to get going now. Let's go. So the first thing I like to do when I find a new campsite like this is find out where I'm going to put my tent. I'm working with a new tent today from Mountain Warehouse. It's a backpacking tent, but it's actually a 3-person backpacking tent. So it's a little bit big, but you know what? That's okay. It's not too heavy. I think it's going to work out pretty well. So I got to find a good spot to put my tent. You know what? A lot of sites don't have a lot of options. There's lots of roots and rocks, but you know what? This site looks pretty decent, and I'm going to try to find a good spot that I think will work. There's no fires, so I don't really have to worry about going too close to the fire pit, unfortunately, but maybe right behind me there. Yeah, that might work. All right, let's get to work. So I'm all done setting up camp. It went a lot quicker, especially with that little backpacking tent. It was much easier to set up than my other tent. So that's great. So it's a little early. I don't want to start dinner soon. It's still pretty hot out. So I thought maybe I'll go for a swim. But I can safely say that nobody, absolutely nobody, wants to see me going for a swim. So I decided to check out the hiking trails. Now this place is stupid for hiking trails. It's such a beautiful spot. It's really known for great hiking up here in the Gatineaus. It's awesome in the wintertime. You can go cross-country skiing and snowshoeing. They really take care. They groom the trails, which is really nice. But the best time to come hiking in the Gatineau Park is easily in the fall, because all the leaves change color and it's such a beautiful spot. Now, I'm also hoping to do a little camping this fall in the Gatineau Park. They got a bunch of different campsites that I want to try up. Maybe do a little bit of bike packing, maybe do a little bit of backpacking in. We'll see. I'm very, very excited. I can't wait. Anyways, I'm gonna do a little bit of hiking and I'll get back and start cooking dinner. We are going to be cooking a steak, so we're going to be cooking it on this bad boy here. Yeah, that's a heavy one. Good. All right, let's get that nice and hot, and then we will get a steak on there. I'm excited about this. There we go. We get a little sizzle going there. Love that. We also have, we're going to do some potatoes, put a little sauce on there. A little bit of spice on the potatoes. I don't really like much on my steak, to be honest with you. I'm a pretty simple guy. I like just the steak itself. So we'll do some potatoes. And if I have enough energy, I am the lazy camper. If I have enough energy, I'm going to do some veggies. We got some cucumbers, some onions, and some tomatoes to make a quick little salad. So, all right, steak, get a cooking. Thank you. So that steak's sizzling real nice right now. That's a pretty decent sized steak, especially for me. I love steak, but that's a big steak. But you know what? When you're camping, I will finish it off, no problem. Now, let's make some potatoes. I love these little tiny potatoes. They're so delicious. We're gonna cut them up, probably cube them. To be honest with you, I am not a great cook. I like cooking on the grill. I like cooking outdoors and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm not a great cook. So, if this turns out to be horrible, I mean, I'll still eat it, so what does that matter? Doesn't matter. I think I made too many potatoes here, or brought too many potatoes. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some of these potatoes, and I am going to have hash browns tomorrow morning. Okay, so I just finished cutting up all these potatoes. I'm exhausted now, it's a lot of potatoes. Let's check on the steak. It's real sizzling, real nice. Oh, there we go, it's coming along. It's coming along nicely. I'm more of a medium steak guy. I'm not too sure. When I was younger, I used to like it a little bit more well done. I definitely don't like it raw. Respect to you if you like it raw, but yeah, no, not me so much. Okay, so let's put these all back in. I'm gonna add some spices to them. I don't like a lot, just a little bit. We're gonna shake it a bit. All right, that's good to go. We're gonna keep that because we're gonna cut up some veggies. Gonna move the steak over, get a little bit of butter going, just for these, I think, and then we should be good. Okay, so we got some cucumbers. Now we're gonna do some tomatoes. Gotta check the steak. All right, the steak's pretty much done. Just gonna let the potatoes cook a little bit more, and then while I do this, it should be done. Sorry, my meal is being interrupted by all these water bombers, these planes flying across. There must be a big forest fire going on. Okay, as you can see, we're all done. Steak looks good, potatoes look good. Every camping trip, I forget one thing. Actually, that's a lie. I forget a lot of things. But today, I knew I was going to forget something, and I forgot to bring plates. I have a couple different plates that I use for camping, and I did not bring them. So, you know what? We'll just make do, and we'll use it from the skillet. Oh, potatoes are good. Nice. Maybe a little bit more well done than I normally like. But what are you gonna do? My first time cooking with this skillet on this stove, so not too bad. There's nothing like enjoying a meal that you just cooked yourself out in the woods. Beautiful lake, beautiful trees. It's awesome. So peaceful. Good. I'm out here on Taylor Lake at golden hour, around 8:30 right now. The sun has just gone down. It seems to go down a little earlier out here in the Gatineau Park because of all the hills and the trees, so the sun hides behind the trees. But anyways, it's a beautiful night. I'm almost done the whole lake. It's not a very big lake, but it's big enough that you can definitely get a full paddle out if that's something that you're interested in. It's so quiet. There's some beautiful campsites all over this park. When I say all over, I mean there's only, I think, maybe 40, 30 or something like that. So it's not too many. So there's not a lot of people here. One of the great things about this place for camping or just getting outdoors is that the sites are right on the water for the most part. Most of them are right near the water. Actually, that's what attracted me to this campsite, is being out on the water. There's nothing as great as being right to the water, you know, camping, waking up in the morning, getting your fire going for a paddle. Man, I love living in Canada. Love it. So if you decide to come up here for a paddle, great idea, by the way. There's lots of other things to do up here. There's beautiful beaches up here. Campsites, of course, if you want to make a trip out of it. But if you just want to come up for a paddle, it's a great place as well. Now, I haven't noticed an actual boat launch here on this lake. But in saying that, almost every site that I see around here has a spot where you can probably launch. My campsite has a site. I mean, it's not fantastic, but kind of like a beach. I'll take it. And it's a nice spot to put the boat in. There's a couple spots that look like they would be pretty decent that aren't belonging to a campground, so you could probably do that. That's complete silence. I hear a couple birds. I hear some fish jumping. That's about it. No frogs. Nothing. Earlier there was a lot of commotion going on. There was some kind of either training, or I hope it was training, or there was an actual forest fire somewhere around here. I mean, the time that I'm up here, of course, it's a fire ban is on, but it actually is you know, pretty nice and calm up here. But there was a whole bunch of, I guess, forest fighting bombers, water bombers, and they were flying all over the place. They seemed like they were about, you know, 400 feet off the ground. It was incredible. I tried to get some good visuals of it. It was really hard. And then by the time I got in the water, they weren't here anymore. So I'm hoping that they were just doing training exercises, that there weren't any actual active forest fires going on, because this area up here is just too beautiful to lose. I love it. I know some people do like to fish on the kayak and the canoe, and good for you. I've started that a little bit, and it's a lot of fun. Haven't fallen in yet while trying to cast. I'm sure that's coming. But yeah, you can fish here, no problem. And from what I see, all the fish jumping, I think it's probably a pretty good spot. I haven't heard that it's a great spot, but man, there's lots of fish jumping, and it's so peaceful and quiet. Just to spend some time out here on the water would be pretty decent. Now there's regulations, of course, just like there are everywhere, but coming up here for a paddle, bring the fishing gear. Not a bad day. Not a bad day at all. Oh man, I can fall asleep out here. Probably wouldn't be a good idea, but I definitely could. So peaceful. Glad I took this trip. Oh, more fish jumping, and that was a big one. It made a big splash. Anyways, I better head in, but this was a great trip. Glad I came here for camping, and I'm glad I came here to get a paddle in, because yeah, I've never been here, and sometimes that makes for an excellent adventure. Okay, so it's been a pretty good day so far. Got here a couple hours ago, found out there was a fire ban. That put a damper on things a bit. I love a fire, and a whole bunch of plans to cook with the fire, and a couple little stories with the fire. But you know what? What can you do? You can't do anything. There's a fire ban on. There's a fire ban. It's for the best. It's for this whole area to make sure it's safe. So I'm not sure what I'm going to do for the rest of the night. I'm not ready to go to bed. That's for sure. But after the kayak, I am a little bit tired. That was a good trip on the lake here. This is a beautiful spot. And if you've ever thought about coming up here, don't make any more excuses. Get up here and try it out, because it's really, really nice. And not a lot of people know about the spot, which is great. So anyways, I'm not ready to head to bed, but maybe I'll get the camera out and do some astrophotography time lapses or something like that. Looking to improve on those. The moon is out, so that's not going to be great for that, but you know what? Maybe I'll get some great shots of the moon. All right, let's get going. Hey, it's like 3 in the morning and something just ran through my campsite. It shook the whole tent. It must have, whatever it was, must have hit one of the pegs or something like that, so the whole tent shook. I was freaking out. It was high on the co-brown factor. I actually did get out to check it out, and I wasn't sure. I think it was 2 deer. I think I saw them running away. They were down near the water and they ran through the bushes again, making lots of noise. They look like deer. I'm not too sure, but that's what they look like. So anyways, I guess I really had nothing to be too nervous about. Anyways, didn't crap my pants, so that's a good thing. All right, wish me luck getting back to bed. It's gonna be a long night. Good morning, everybody. Well, that was an interesting sleep. It was a little bit chilly, and then I had my visitors in the middle of the night, shall we say. That was weird to get woken up by such a loud sound. It really shook the tent really hard. And then when I got out and I saw that it was 2 deer, that made me feel a bit better. Of course, I have the bear spray and anything else that I need to protect myself, but I don't want to have to get into it with a bear or anything. And the fact that it was 2 deer out there, I mean, that's okay. Hopefully they weren't too scared. They seemed to have knocked my guy line, and that's what actually shook the tent. So hopefully everything's fine. Hopefully the deer's fine, the tent's fine, I'm fine. A little tired. Hey, what's new? You're camping, right? All right, we're gonna get some breakfast going. We're doing some bacon and eggs, maybe some pancakes if I have enough energy. And then I got to get out of the site, but I really want to stay. I might go for a little bit longer kayak this morning. All depends on the timing. Then I got to tear everything down. So it's not the worst tearing down all your stuff after camping. It's the worst. All right, let's get going on breakfast. There's nothing like a little bacon for breakfast when you're camping. Sure, it's a pain in the butt. We all know that, but man, that smell and that sizzle, that'll wake you up. All right, that's looking good. We got some eggs coming up. All right, let's go. Okay, so the bacon's coming along nicely. For me, I like my bacon not real crisp, not raw, of course, just kind of in the middle. It's a big fighting point around our house. Anyways, looking pretty good. Okay, we're gonna go with some scrambled eggs today. I think what we're gonna do is, I don't have a bowl, so we're just gonna scramble it in the pan. What's the worst that can happen? All right, I think we're looking good. and bring in the bacon. Okay, the eggs are ready. The bacon is ready. It's weird, some of them are more crispy than others. I think essentially what happened is, I'll shut over there. Essentially what happened is there's hot spots on that burner. I don't think on the cast iron. Cast iron's good, but there's hot spots on the burner, so. Very good. So making bacon and eggs while you're camping is a lot of work for sure, especially if you didn't get a good night's sleep, depending on the weather. It's kind of windy out here. Lots of reasons not to do it. But the benefits totally outweigh the negatives because this is delicious. It might not look fantastic, but for me it's pretty good. Even if I cooked at home, it wouldn't look great. So this is pretty good. I'm going to be full for the rest of the morning. And it's good. Who doesn't love bacon? Okay, let's make some coffee. I just got a new manual grinder. Not sure how good it is. It's a lot more work, but maybe that's a good thing. I know I'm the lazy camper, but sometimes it seems like I do a lot more work than I need to. That's part of the fun, I guess. Okay, let's grind this bad boy up. See if I'm doing this right. You can always do instant coffee when you're camping. There's no judgment here, right? I'm not a coffee snob. As I say that, I'm roasting my own beans and grinding it up. It's working. Check back with me in about an hour. I should have this grinded away. Okay, that's not too bad. It took me about 3 minutes to get that much. I think that's way more than I need for just myself out here. A little bit of coffee. Now, I might need 2 coffees because it was a rough night. That was really weird last night, eh? Yeah, weird. Anyways, what we need to do now, start boiling some water. So while we're waiting for the water to boil, just to let you know, I've just started this new channel, as I mentioned earlier. I'm very excited. I love shooting stuff in the outdoors and love hiking and camping, all that stuff. So if this is something you're interested in, please consider subscribing. And for the first 1,000 subscribers, I will personally check you for ticks. That's a pretty good offer if you ask me. That sounds really, really weird and really dirty, but it really wasn't meant to be like that. But the offer is still good. I'll check you for ticks. Sure, why not? Okay, after far too long, our water is finally ready. So all we need to do now is simply pour it right over our coffee. Smells awesome. Something about freshly roasted coffee beans, and when you grind it yourself, I'm not sure, it's just something that smells awesome. All right, we'll let that settle in and work in, and then we'll sit back and enjoy. We only got a couple more minutes, maybe an hour left to this campsite, and we gotta go. So gotta tear down everything, but first we're going to enjoy this much deserved coffee. This really is a nice campsite. So I'm all done, packed up, everything's ready to go. I wanted to leave this campsite cleaner than it was when I got here, but you know what? It was pretty darn clean when I got here. So who was ever here before me, nice job. I left it nice and clean as well. Anyways, this was a great trip. I really enjoyed it. Hopefully you enjoyed this video. And I'm excited to make a whole bunch more. And now I gotta get home and shower and let my wife check me for ticks. Again, that sounds dirty, but it really isn't. Anyways, thanks for watching, and we will see you next time. Almost forgot my sign here, sorry.